life before SPS, it was a manual account creation process. And really what we had to do was we either manually keyed all the accounts by hand, which required a lot of manpower, or we did custom extracts where we pulled down the data, scrubbed it, and then imported that in to create accounts. Really, it was cumbersome to say the least, and there was no way that we could keep up with changes in enrollment and when students came to us and were set up. On top of that, if a student left, very rarely did we know about it. We sometimes knew when they did something wrong and we had to disable an account or something like that, but we didn't know, oh, this student withdrew and went to another school, so their account's sitting there active, open all year. And we have no way of really taking a look at that and effectively managing it with everything else that we're tasked to do. We told them they would have accounts the first day of school. It was a rather large endeavor at the time, but using SPS, we were able to keep that promise and really, I think, won some people over because they weren't believers. They said, oh yeah, sure, maybe by the end of the first week we'll have them all. But with the exception of, I think, one enrollment the night before, that every student had an account day one. And the teachers knew, okay, here's the students that have accounts, here's their default password, which every student should already know because of what we were using. And then if there's any duplicates, I was emailing those out to those teachers so that they weren't getting a list of everybody in the building, their username and password that they had to look through and say, yeah, here's your information, here's your information, here's your information. They just got a list of people that were exceptions. And they could look at their class roster and very clearly see, these are the kids that I have, this is how we have the name in our student information system, and this is what your account is. I mean, year one, we did an iPad pilot where we had 7 teachers with class sets of devices that really were clamoring for accounts at the beginning of the year. Next year, we're going to a full-blown one-to-one with every student having an iPad, probably upwards of 600 students, if not close to 700. And even before they have their first day of school here, they're going to be using their network accounts to set up their devices on the pickup night and create everything so that day one, when they walk into the classroom with that device is ready to use. They have their email account, they have their network account, and we even have a way that they can then get in, change their password all on that device. So it's really just streamlined so many things and made things so much simpler. So now the technology is not a kind of something on the side that they'll use here and there in the classroom. We're really looking to give them that technology and embed that in how they're teaching every day in that classroom. So it's an integral part. A lot of our teachers that asked for it this year really said, okay, I want this day one because I want the kids to get used to how we're going to communicate, how I'm going to collect their information, how we're going to do all of these things. And so that's what they've been able to do, is set that standard. This is what you have available to you, this is the expectation, and here we go. So it's really enabled the teachers to meet the kids where they are. We're not expecting the kids necessarily to totally power down when they enter the classroom like we used to. So the kids are a lot more excited about what they're doing.